In this week's episode, I meet up with a 7-time world champion. You heard that right. I'm going to meet and chat with Michael Schumacher from the Mercedes-AMG Petronas Formula One team right here in the heart of Singapore. Our guest host, Darren Lee, travels to London to meet up with Petronas' talent development driver, Jazeman Jaafar.
Hey race fans, guess where I am? London? How did you know? Anyway, today we'll be chilling and chatting with none other than Jazeman Jaafar. He's going to tell us what it's like to be racing in the British F3 amongst the best drivers in whole of Europe. So don't do anything crazy like go to a barbecue because this is going to be awesome.
Hi, I'm Jazeman Jaafar and this is Motorsports at Petronas.
Singapore's motorsports history dates back to 1949 with the birth of the Singapore Motoring Club as well as the British Forces Motor Club in 1956. These two clubs were the key players in organising various motorsports events in Singapore and across the sea in a little place that was called Malaya back then. The first Singapore Grand Prix was held in 1961 at the famous Upper Thomson Road circuit, a 4.8-kilometre long road track. I would love to stay and chat, but I'm off to meet a world champion as he squeezes us in between his busy schedule. Michael Schumacher, 68 pole positions, 116 front row starts, 156 top 3 finishes. The list is impressive. So let's just cut to the chase and tag along with me and meet the Regenmeister. Michael, it's so nice to see you again after so long when we met in Spain.
Thank you.
Okay, let's go back to the past a bit. You had a short stint in a two-wheel racing series. Do you feel that riding a fast two-wheel vehicle gives you the same kind of rush as a four-wheel would?
Absolutely not.
No?
Completely different. A lot more sensation and sort of, how you call it, sparkling, on the two wheels, because you're a lot closer to the happenings. I mean, you're so close to the ground, you're down with the knee, you're down with the elbow, on the ground, scraping on the asphalt, whereas with a car, you're protected in a very secluded cell. And in a motorcycle, you feel the so-called danger and fear a lot more close to you, and unfortunately once I had a big taste of this one as well.
Oh, so any chance you might go back to two-wheel racing?
No, not to racing, because I mean it was a interesting and good experience. I had a lot of fun, big sensation as mentioned before, but if you want to be really enjoying yourself, you want to be at the top end.
Yeah.
And I cannot do that anymore. I should have started that much earlier, but luckily I didn't, because injuries are part of the game.
Yeah.
And I have quite a few friends, they don't look too healthy in the late days, so it's certainly not something I would favor. For fun, occasionally I always jump back on the bike with my friends, but no competition spirit.
Okay, let's talk about the safety features. What do you think the safety features of a Formula One car is like now compared to just as recent as 2001?
There has been a massive progress. We had unfortunately fatal accidents with Ayrton Senna and Roland Ratzenberger in the 90s, and I think they reshuffled a lot and they made the attention to the danger and to the safety awareness a lot higher than before. And since then, if you look accidents we have had in Formula One, And Spa was a good example. Nobody got really injured, and that's what it should be the case. I mean, Formula One has one aim. Basically, no fatal accidents can happen anymore. There's always the so-called risk. It could happen, but you want to minimize that as much as possible. And therefore, not only is good for Formula One, as well as good for the normal customer, because the engineers for the road cars, for the design of tracks or roads is something that is very important and very helpful.
So what are your thoughts on how fast technology has progressed over these past 10, 20 years?
That's the beauty of Formula One. It never stands still. And that's why I love it so much, is the permanent development that is happening. And every race you come is something new. Every year you have a complete new car, and it just goes on and on and on.
Okay, so back in 2004, you were involved in inventing a lightweight carbon helmet. What made you want to get involved in that?
One, the safety is a big aspect for us, but on top, the weight as a natural ballast you want to have as low as possible. Remember, we have a lot of G-force that we have to carry around, so it's very tiring for us. And the more you can focus on racing and less have to worry for your muscles and your workout on the body itself, the more you'll be able to concentrate and do a better job. To combine this, that was the challenge, and with Schubert at the time we, I think, created the state-of-the-art what concerns helmets, the best helmets that you can find certainly in Formula One.
And that is the same helmet that you're using now?
Absolutely, yes.
Oh, well done. With all the new rules and regulations, such as using the DRS at certain parts of the circuit with just at least 1 second gap from the car in front, do you think all these rules and regulations would get in the way of you performing at 110%?
Absolutely not. No, I don't see that, because if you look at Formula One in nowadays, I think it's a lot more exciting. If you're quicker, now you have the chance to overtake, rather than be most of the time in the past, get stuck and not be able to overtake because it was not enough just to have the slipstream. So, KERS, DRS, the general situation development in Formula One, I think leads to, anyway, an equal situation to everybody and a lot more excitement.
What do you think about the levels of discipline in terms of mental and physical aspect of the sport? For example, in the 60s, there were some drivers that didn't quite lead a healthy lifestyle.
Yeah, but as you said, the 60s, 70s, I think that's a long way to go. And
Yeah.
a big difference in time. And nowadays, it's so professional,
Yeah.
everybody is focused, but still, you can live a normal life. I mean, yes, you have to be disciplined, you have to work out, you have to focus, but you can have a normal family life as well.
Do you think that the Formula One car these days are very sophisticated with all the buttons on the steering wheel and the aerodynamics that are adjustable on the fly? What do you think about all that?
You know what? I love them. And they're not sophisticated enough, quite honestly. They allow me not enough freedom to play and to operate the car, because I love perfection. And with what we used to have in the past, where basically each single corner you could make your perfect setup for the car on the electronic side, now you cannot. Now you have to live with a compromise, and you have to deal with this one. That is another way of challenge, but if you ask me what I like, the older days.
A lot of athletes nowadays are very active on these social networks. Where do you stand on that?
I stand in the way that I actually not involved in those ones. I guess it's maybe generation thing, because I'm a little bit too young for this sort of toys, I guess.
No Facebook, no Twitter?
No,
Instagram?
no, absolutely not.
What was the last
There's
social
emails, there's SMS, there's telephone conversation, there's direct conversation. That I think in these days the kids, they forget that.
Yes.
I mean, instead of having a direct conversation, they prefer to send their little messages. They're sitting next to each other and writing themselves messages. And that's a bit awkward, because normal life and social combination and confrontation gets a little bit lost in all that one.
That's a very good advice. Thank you very much for your time again. It's been a pleasure, and good
Likewise.
luck for your upcoming race.
Yep, we'll need this. Lots of crossing fingers, and I hope we're going to have your support.
Definitely. Thank you.
Welcome.
There you have it, straight from the Regenmeister's mouth. Thanks for joining me, Julie Woon, right here on Motorsports at PETRONAS.
Hello everybody, I'm Andre Lotre, and I want to tell you that it's really important to have a driving license because you have to learn on from the beginning the basics of driving, and also you want to be a responsible driver because you're not only responsible about yourself, but there are other people on the road that you have to take care about. And if you do get in trouble, you're most likely to be insured with a driving license, and if you don't have one, you're in big trouble.
England, with a motorsports history dating back as early as 1907, when Brooklands, the world's first purpose-built motor racing circuit, was constructed in Weybridge, Surrey. It is definitely the place to be at if you are a young and up-and-coming racer.
So we'll be going on a little road trip. Just 45 minutes from Heathrow Airport is Carlin Motorsports' state-of-the-art factory. That's where I'll be meeting up with Jazeman Jaafar. He's one of PETRONAS' talent development drivers who will be racing in the British F3 for Carlin Motorsports. And guess what? He's only 19. Yeah, so I really like London and its rich history, but I will be meeting up with the guy who'll be making his own history. So let's go.
As Darren heads towards Farnham, here's a brief history on Jazeman Jaafar. He has been racing since he was just a little lad, when he was 7 years old to be exact. He raced his way into the Malaysian karting scene and got his first taste of victory when he was only 8 years old. He made his debut in the British Formula 3 in 2010, and last year, Jazeman had a total of 4 podiums, 18 top 5 finishes, 23 top 10 finishes, landing him 6th in the championship.
Hey guys, how you doing? I'm finally here. Short but sweet ride, not too far from the city. So I'm right here at the brand new Carlin Motorsports headquarters. Now you may notice there's a plaque of a little chili there. Now why is there a chili? The owner, Graham Chilton, his nickname is Chili. Boom, you get a plaque. Okay, so I have a date with Jazeman inside. I'm gonna go fetch the guy and see what's up. Come on. Hi Jazeman, how are you?
Good.
What's in store for us today?
Welcome to the Carlin headquarters. This is the center of where I spend my time with my engineers and my mechanics, and I'll give you a tour around.
Sounds brilliant. Driver first.
Come on.
So first up, congratulations on an amazing season so far. The Malaysian anthem has been being played all over the circuits in Europe, and we're very, very proud of you. So, tell us what it's like listening to the Malaysian anthem play and knowing it's playing because of you.
It's an incredible feeling, to be honest, because I don't think there's no other Malaysian, well, other than Fairuz and Alex, who's been there. But for me in British F3 and as well as doing Formula 3 International, it's been an amazing journey to win a race and to also lead a race, and it feels incredibly amazing. So Darren, this is the main bit where all the cars are being prepped, and there I have my 2 race Formula 3 cars from last year and this year. It looks
really nice.
So this is the main difference of the new F312 is the downforce.
Right.
There's a lot of downforce in the car, and there are new rules as well that you can't develop the car until a certain diameter.
Yep.
But there's also new safety structures. As you can see, it's slightly higher, and obviously with the new aero kit, it's pretty impressive, I must say.
Obviously, it's very, very impressive. Now, this is the car that you use to drive this year.
Exactly. This is the car that I won my races in Pole, Brands Hatch and Rockingham, so it's incredible.
What's the main difference between the older model and this new one?
But the horsepower and everything's exactly the same. So it's just the aero bits that have been updated. So it's a amazing bit of kit, I must say.
Beautiful machine. If you can tell us as vague as you can, so you don't give out any secrets, what was the winning strategy?
How much are you going to pay me for that? Well, I guess I like to stay in my routine every prior to a race, you know, drinking enough fluids, being focused, sleeping early, eating right, and that whole process will lead you up to a good result. So once you get all your routine right, you're good to do good results.
Sounds like a winning strategy.
This is just the standard thing, and then they will put 4 plates on top of the tires.
Right.
Lots of tracks goes right-hand side, right? So they will balance the car a little bit more to the right with the right height and the weight to be balanced slightly to the right as well.
Really cool.
So everything is by detail of the millimeter, which is incredible. So all my teammates, all the cars will have a double check before they go.
So in the British F3, you only get one 30-minute session for qualifying weekend. So say you come in second, you'll be placed in P2 for races 1 and 3. But in the second race, there's something called the reverse grid. Can you tell us a little bit about it and why it exists?
It's tough, really, because to be honest, qualifying is only 30 minutes and you have to do your best. And then there's this thing called reverse grid. The winner of race 1 will pick a lottery number between 8 to 12. So for example, they take number 10, and the 10 will reverse, the grid will reverse. It's still full points, and it trains you to obviously race up the order and score as much points as you can. It's been a good challenge because I like fighting from the back, and I really enjoy racing.
What's in there?
The carbon shock.
So when something bad happens to a car, this is where they bring it to.
This is where they bring it. This is the actual race tub from World Series from 2006. So
Just still fixing it up.
still fixing it up. Good to go. Maybe you can drive, Darren.
Maybe I will. Let's go. Tell us about the race. I'm sure you enjoy it, obviously, but there's so many things that would distract you. You know, the weather, the radio, the umbrella girls watching you. Tell us, what's your biggest challenge?
I never like getting distracted because you're on the grid and you're so focused to do your job. You're communicating with your engineer, so you can't get distracted really because you're so in the zone, you know. And I like to keep it in the zone. These are one of my nose cones from my last race, which is, you know, you get hit, you get crashed, and
Tell us what happened.
everyone got piled up in the first corner. I got nudged, and a car in front just came across me, so I broke my front wing. But I still scored in the points, finished
But
7th.
not you though, it's not you.
Yeah, but racing incident, I just
Cool. Are you a superstitious kind of guy?
Well, before a race, yeah, I have a weird kind of routine. I wear everything on my right. I wear my gloves on my right, my suit on my right. I get in the car on my right, and same when I get out. It's a routine that I've been doing ever since I was karting and right up to where I'm in F3 now. So if I don't do it, I feel like I haven't done something right.
So what is this room?
This is the main office where we keep all the trophies, their winnings from the past. This is all the trophies from this year.
Wow.
And check it out, this is mine. My winning from Rockingham,
Nice.
my winning from Brands Hatch, and
Very, very nice. Cool, you should be very proud because we're all very proud of you.
Thank
you know, what's next?
Well, check it out over there.
So you know the circuits inside out. You're very familiar with them, but you still have to do track walks before a race. Now, can you explain why that's so important to everyone?
You see, the tracks changes, not the corners, but maybe the tarmacs, the curbs. Sometimes they repaint, or they even add extra service roads on the exit. Even the breakouts of the tarmacs can happen, and this plays a lot of role when you drive. So to do the track walk with your engineers is actually to prep yourself to be aware of all of these aspects of the circuit. It gives you basically a lap ahead before you're in the car.
Where do you want to go, sir? I can get you there in 60 seconds or less. Ooh. Which way am I going?
You're not bad, Darren. After you spun there.
Yeah, I was terrible.
Let's say that the 100 meter is your marker.
Yep.
So you brake. Well, the brakes, you really have to stamp it. It's like the real car. I had a big crash here last year.
Really?
Yeah. I couldn't move my legs.
Oh no!
Yeah, the impact was so hard, but I got a bruise on my knees.
Jazeman, thank you very much for the tour of Carlin Motorsports
Always
factory.
a pleasure, Darren.
I know I'll be rooting for you, and I'll see you at the checkered flag.
Thank you.
Guys, thank you very much for joining us. I'm Darren Lee,
And I'm Jazeman Jaafar.
and this has been Motorsports at PETRONAS. But before I go, don't forget to log on to www.petmos.com.my for all the information about your favorite drivers, teams, and race results. Till next time, Darren signing out.
Okay, so this is the rear wing. The reason why we have this on our race car is to give a car more downforce, especially on the rear. The downforce is something that pushes the car down onto the ground and give the car more grip. And the reason why we don't have this on the commercial car is because this mainly works above maybe 150 kph or more than that. So the normal commercial car is not supposed to go over 150 kph normally. So that's the reason why we don't have it.
Before I go, don't forget to log on to www.petmos.com.my for all the results. Jazeman, thank you very much for the tour of the Carlin
I don't know why I did that.
I'm Darren Lee.
I'm sorry.
He forgot his name.
Find elsewhere.